Hi everyone. In this video I will only discuss certain wedge progression types and will leave discussion of the so-called omnibus group of progressions for another video. As their name suggests, in these progressions at least two parts move in contrary motion to create the wedge. Many people are familiar with the simple wedge progressions known as passing progressions, where typically a single harmony is prolonged by another. Here, for example, the motion between this major chord's root position and first inversion is connected here by a first inversion leading note diminished and here by a second inversion dominant chord. As is often the case, in both of these examples, the two parts moving in contrary motion create a voice exchange which may move between notes of the same or different chords. For example, here the expected root position minor triad is replaced by a supertonic half diminished seventh chord, which harmonizes the A and C notes of the voice exchange as its third and fifth degrees. In this instance, while two different chords are used, both have the same predominant function. Also, often a single note of the voice exchange may be altered to create the two harmonies, such as here where this E flat of the initial German augmented 6 is raised to E natural to sound the third of C sharp diminished seventh harmony. Used as a foundation, the passing progression can also be expanded to create larger wedge progressions, which may be framed by voice exchange or include the exchange within the larger progression. Often, dominant seventh chords form the basis of the larger wedge progressions, and as here, may move through their different inversions to create the wedge. In this example, the dominant alternates with a single chord, tonic C major harmony, but may be prolonged using several. Larger wedge progressions may also be formed using the ascending tetrachord from scale degree 5 to 1 of the melodic minor scale, a process which introduces different chords to the progression. Here, for example, the voice exchange suggests an expansion of tonic D minor harmony. However, to accommodate this B natural, these F and D notes must be harmonized by a chord containing these notes, such as the submediant half diminished seventh chord and 4/3 inversion. Here the wedge is extended by an initial A dominant seventh chord and 4/2 inversion. The descending chromatic tetrachord beginning from the melodic minor scale's root note may also be used as a wedge progression basis. Here, a fairly typical harmonization of the descending tetrachord includes a voice exchange. However, because all of the upper parts are diatonic, they are unable to harmonize the bass notes with a stepwise ascent and must instead be repeated over the two versions of dominant and subdominant harmony. While most of the preceding examples are essentially diatonic, many larger wedge progressions are chromatically expanded. For example, by adding some chromatic notes above the descending tetrachord, the upper part now moves by step, as it is able to harmonize the lower part with chords whose structure contains these notes and whose voice leading accommodates the wedge's motion. For example, here this E natural and B flat combination resolves as the secondary dominant seventh to the following major subdominant, and here the F sharp and A flat combination resolves as a German augmented 6 chord to the cadential 6/4. This harmonization introduces chords common to the omnibus group of progressions, such as dominant seventh, second inversion, and augmented 6 chords, although, as here, these chords also often feature in standard wedge progressions. A similar harmonization of the descending chromatic tetrachord may be seen here, where Beethoven also harmonizes the chromatic notes of the progression, here with a secondary dominant resolving to the major subdominant, and here with a German augmented 6 chord resolving to the second inversion tonic. In this example, however, the second inversion tonic, rather than sounding as part of a cadential 6/4 progression, moves directly onto root position minor subdominant harmony. Here also, unlike the previous tetrachord example, which is essentially framed by a prolongation of dominant harmony, this voice exchange is used only through these bars, prolonging subdominant harmony. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.